In the heart of downtown Chicago, amidst towering skyscrapers and honking traffic, lived a beggar named Samuel. He wasn't the kind of man you'd look at twice. Tattered clothes, a sunken face, and a cardboard sign that read, "Trying to feed my son. God bless you." Next to him, every day after school, sat a quiet 12-year-old boy, his son, Elijah. Most people ignored them. Some dropped spare change. But no one ever looked them in the eyes. What no one knew was that behind Elijah's silence was a storm of dreams. He didn't want to beg. He wanted to build, not just a home or a future, but a name, a life worth remembering. But dreams are easy when you're full. When you're hungry, cold, and invisible, they feel foolish. Elijah wasn't always homeless. 3 years ago, his mother died in a car accident. His father, once a janitor, spiraled into depression, losing his job, and eventually their home. They bounced between shelters until even those became full. By 8th grade, Elijah was showering in public bathrooms and doing homework under street lamps. Still, he never missed a day of school. His teacher, Ms. Taylor, began to notice. One winter afternoon, she pulled him aside. "Elijah," she said gently, "you're smart, but you look tired, son. Are you okay?" "I'm fine," he lied, but he wasn't. His shoes had holes. His jacket was too small. That night, while trying to sleep under an overpass, he whispered to himself, "I won't let this be my story. I won't let pain define me." Elijah applied for every after-school job he could find. But no one wanted to hire a boy with no address, no phone, and no reliable transportation. He faced humiliation. Bullies at school called him dumpster kid. He fought hard not to cry. Not because crying was weak, but because he feared if he started, he wouldn't be able to stop. One evening, while collecting cans for change, he stumbled upon a small community center. Through the glass, he saw kids his age coding on computers. Curious, he walked in. "Do you have a membership?" a woman asked. "No," Elijah replied, ashamed. "But I want to learn." The woman, Ms. Reed, a retired software engineer, saw the hunger in his eyes. "You don't need money," she said. "You need courage. You've got that already." From that day on, Elijah spent every spare hour at the center. Ms. Reed became his mentor, teaching him coding, logic, and how to dream in code. But the mountain wasn't done testing him. One night, his father fell ill, pneumonia. Elijah had to leave the center to care for him, missing school and slipping behind. "I can't keep climbing," he cried one night, watching his father cough under a thin blanket. Samuel gripped his son's hand. "You can, son, because you already are." Elijah made a choice. He would finish middle school, take care of his father, and still find time to learn. He started waking up at 4 a.m. to study. He created small apps on public library computers. One, a budgeting tool for low-income families, won a city-level innovation contest. It caught the attention of a local tech entrepreneur, Maya Alvarez. Maya met Elijah, read his story, and offered him a full scholarship to a private STEM high school. More than that, she gave his father access to medical care and a part-time job at her company. For the first time in 3 years, Elijah and his father moved into an apartment. It wasn't big, but it was theirs. High school wasn't easy. But Elijah had already climbed higher than most. He became the top student, founded a coding club, and started mentoring other low-income kids. At 17, he launched his first nonprofit, CodeRise, teaching tech skills to youth from shelters in the streets, just like he once was. On the night of his high school graduation, Elijah stood at the podium, valedictorian of his class. He looked out into the crowd, spotted his father, standing tall in a clean shirt, and smiled. 3 years ago, Elijah began. "I did homework under a street lamp and washed in gas station sinks. People looked away when they saw me, but I never looked away from my dream." He paused. "Pain tried to define me, but I redefined it. I turned it into purpose." If you're struggling, don't give up. Sometimes the mountain you climb becomes the foundation you build on. The moral Elijah's story reminds us all. Never give up. Pain may visit your life, but it doesn't have to own your story. You do.